Poland is the largest state in Eastern Europe, which will captivate tourists with its amazing history and ancient architectural monuments, rich cultural heritage, folk crafts, and fantastically beautiful landscapes. World-famous resorts are located here, and there are many museums, theaters, and concert halls. The country hosts art exhibitions, hosts film and festivals on an international scale. So make yourself some tea and let's dive into 17 best places to visit in Poland. Number 17. Old Town of Warsaw. You should start your trip around the country by getting to know the historical district of its official capital. It is represented by a market square with a large number of shops, cafes, and restaurants for every taste and color. A positive feature of this landmark of Poland is the richness of the area with monuments of medieval architecture. It is interesting to know that the Old Town was founded back in the 13th century. Initially, it was surrounded by an earthen rampart, which was later replaced by brick walls. Don't forget to take your camera to take lots of beautiful photos. Number 16. Marienburg Castle. The main attractions of the country include the nest of German knights. The brick bulk of this castle rises on the banks of the Nogat River, which flows 80 kilometers from the border with the Kaliningrad region of the Russian Federation. Its history began 700 years ago when the residence of the Teutons was officially moved from Venice to Marienburg. The fortress was repeatedly completed and decorated. In 1945, the castle suffered great destruction, but after the end of World War II, it was literally rebuilt. Nowadays, there is a museum within the walls of the building. Interesting collections of weapons, amber jewelry, and armor are displayed there. Number 15. Tatras. This is the name of the Carpathian mountain system, the highest point of which reaches 2,499 meters. This place attracts tourists not only with altitudes ranging from 1,800 to 2,500 meters, but also with glacial circuses, mountain lakes in large numbers, and deep valleys. The rating of this attraction of Poland is rated as high, all because there is also a ski resort known as Zakopane. You can get here from the capital by train. The Tatras are also famous for their caves, of which there are really a lot. Number 14. Krakow Old Town. If you are planning to go specifically to Krakow, it is better to start exploring it from the Old Town, all roads from which lead to the market square. It is a ceremonial living room where both local residents and guests of the country are accustomed to gather. Krakow residents are proud of their square because it is considered one of the largest in Europe, occupies 200 to 200 meters. A trip to the Old Town is worth it because the market ensemble has preserved in detail the layout of the times when trade was carried out with all of Europe. Number 13. Wawel Castle. This is one of the best attractions in Krakow, represented by a large pedestrian area. A strange sculpture in the form of a dragon immediately attracts attention. Tourists love to take pictures against its background. There is a whole legend associated with it. The castle rises above the Vistula River and stands on a hill. The territory attracts with an abundance of flowers. Processions are held here in honor of the celebration of May 1st and more. Entrance to the castle territory is free, but if you want to visit the underground tombs, climb the bell tower, or find yourself in the royal chambers, you will need to pay money. Number 12. Old Town in Gdansk. What to visit in Poland? The oldest part of the settlement of Gdansk deserves attention. During the Second World War, a huge number of buildings were damaged and some completely turned into a pile of rubble. Very few buildings were saved. At the end of hostilities, the architecture was restored in accordance with the appearance of the 13–17th centuries. Where to go first in Poland? Of course, to the Old City. It is decorated with many colorful buildings. Some of them are decorated with drawings carved on wood and sculptural decorations. The view of the ancient center of Europe always leaves a vivid impression. Number 11. Masurian Lake District. This landmark of Poland is one of the most beautiful. Tourists are delighted with the beauty of the local nature. Masuria is a historical and ethnographic region in the northern part of the country. There are about 4,000 lakes in this region, most of which are connected by canals and rivers. The total area of Masuri is about 1,700 square kilometers. Here you can go sailing and kayaking. Number 10. Wieliczka Salt Mine. A 30-minute drive from the capital royal city of Krakow, there is another attraction of Poland. We are talking about a small town with a population of only 20,000 people. Its uniqueness lies in the presence of salt mines. They were formed naturally. Many years ago, there was a large expanse of water there. Excursions in Poland in this direction are held regularly. Tourists are shown places where salt was once mined. Number 9. Słowinski National Park. Thinking about what to visit in Poland? Head to the city of Liba, where there is an interesting place in the form of a park area in the central part of the Polish coast. It was founded with the aim of preserving the natural beauty of the area. Meadows, lake systems, coastal forests, and unique dunes also needed protection. Reviews about this place are full of admiration. The park has picturesque lakes into which seawater flows during strong storms. The tourism infrastructure here is assessed as well developed. Number 8. Wilanów Palace. Want to see Poland's most important landmark? Welcome to the palace, located on the southeastern outskirts of Warsaw. It is made in the Baroque style, and adjacent to it is a garden, which the Poles are proud of. The residence for the rulers was built at the end of the 17th century, and during its existence it was completed several times. It was within the walls of the palace that one of the first art museums in the country was opened. This happened in 1805, and on the initiative of Potocki. Number 7. Zakopane. The city, located in the far south of the country, has many positive recommendations. Here it is considered one of the largest winter sports centers. Ski lovers are offered both simple, gentle slopes and difficult, steep ones. In some places, the elevation changes reach 930 meters. What to see in Poland, you ask? Head to Zakopane, where 10 ski centers await you. Number 6. Lazienki Park. In the very heart of the Polish capital, there is a unique and very beautiful park area. The park was created back in the 17th century. It was originally planned that it would be a nature reserve. There are not many animals here. Squirrels and peacocks attract attention. The park's attractions include the Palace on the Water, the White House, the Roman Theater, the Egyptian Castle, and more. They all have their own interesting history. Number 5. Old part of Zamość. The settlement itself appeared according to the idea and desire of one person who was the crown chancellor. His name was Jan Zamość. He wanted to have his own residence, which would be worthy of his high position. The result is a unique architectural ensemble, which includes a large number of masterpieces with historical and cultural significance. By the way, there are no problems with hotels in Poland. No matter what direction you choose, there are apartments everywhere. The main thing is to make sure you book in advance. Number 4. Muskau Park. The uniqueness of this attraction lies in the fact that it is located on the territory of several countries. It was founded in 1815. The order was issued by the Prussian aristocrat Prince Hermann. He always wanted to have a personal garden that looked like a natural landscape. Having put in a lot of effort, he managed to make his dream come true, and modern people enjoy the results. In order to hide the artificial origin of the large garden, a variety of trees, shrubs, flowers, and more were used. Number 3. Książ Castle. What to see in Poland? If you have the opportunity, do not ignore the beautiful and one of the largest castles in Europe. For the Poles, this place is very significant. Its peculiarity is that it is surrounded by a beech forest, in which there are entire thickets of rhododendrons. The building is located near Walberzyk, namely on a rocky cape, surrounded by a natural gorge. In order to return the castle to its former splendor, it is currently being systematically restored and renovated inside. Number 2. Bieszczady National Park. In terms of its size, it ranks 3rd in the ranking of national park areas. There are 23 of them in the country. It is Bieszczady that is located in the Podkarpackie Voivodeship, namely in the southeastern side. Today, the area of the park area is 292 square kilometers. It includes the highest points of the massif called Bieszczady. 80% of the entire park is represented by forests, where there are a huge number of plants, mosses, mushrooms, and lichens. There are also many animals and interesting bird species here. It is not surprising that the place is very popular among tourists. Number 1. Old Town in Torun. It is worth noting that this Polish landmark is included in the list of national heritage. The ancient part of the city is special because it contains unique architectural monuments. It is separated by a moat and a river. No exception are the city walls, which are only partially preserved. At one time, the Old Town was expanded. Now in its central part, there is the Old Town Square. During the Swedish siege, the described part of the city suffered greatly. Then a large number of buildings were burned and destroyed. Only after 1945 did extensive restoration work begin. Today, the Old Town is deservedly considered the Pearl of Torun.